most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly. And with me, as usual, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano. How the hell are we doing today, brother?
Let's go. Doing great, brother. Feeling good, living better as always. Would be remiss not to mention all y'all out there as well. Great to see you all again. My brother looking big and beefy right now. I see you over there with the tank, suns out, guns out. Took a quick trip to Chi-Town this weekend. Not literally. We're talking about the UFC, y'all. Man, still coming down from the high. Oh, my goodness. What a card. What a time and what vibes we are bringing, man. Can't wait. And it's already getting started. We see Rob Rex, LFG.
Let's go, Rob. Rob going to take that bong rip to start the show. Good to see you boys hyped about that Fluffy versus RDR announcement. I am all in on Fluffy, but I think that's one of the most dangerous matchups. Oh, Rob Rex. That is, I mean, you couldn't have hit the nail on the head any harder, my guy, because that is a very competitive matchup. It is a stellar bit of matchmaking. Like, Mick Maynard and the boys should be giving themselves a firm pat on the back for that one, folks, because they did the job. They understood the mission here. The only thing I think they could have done better is if they would have given RDR a title shot against Khamzat instead. I think that would have made a lot of sense, like a sneaky amount of sense. And you know what, folks? Look, I fucked up. I got it wrong. I bet on DDP. I told you to bet the house on DDP, but I also tell you at the beginning and end of every show, don't trust my betting advice. It's not a betting show. It's just a fun MMA show where we're shooting the shit, folks. And we're also shooting the shots, which I do have multiple to do across the show, and I will do them. Bet your bottom dollar I will. Nato, I want to run something by you. We didn't talk about this before the show, but I thought maybe it'd be fun to either start doing this indefinitely or to just try it maybe once during pay-per-views. What do you think about switching the order here? Starting at the top of the card and working our way down.
Ooh, that is spicy, my brother. I like it, man. Why not? I mean, and honestly, you know, who cares what I think? And maybe we got to leave it to the people. This is a democracy, right? No, honestly,
it's a democracy.
Why not, brother? It's a democracy.
I love it.
I'm for the people. Give the people what they want. They want us to dive in. We will dive in. That is all
for
good.
Democracy, Anakin. Yeah, man. So Rob Rex, the rest of you guys in the chat, what do you think? Should we start off with DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev? Go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off, so to speak, get it out of the way. Because the rest of the card, I think, was a better fight card than that main event. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it, my guy. With that being said, we are going to jump on into the main event of the evening, folks. To start the night off, we're going to start at the top of the card. Dricus Du Plessis, DDP, coming in against Khamzat the Wolf Chimaev. And my stinking goodness. You hate to see it. What's the timestamp here? 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Cool. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. That is where the boys need to rewind to see their shot portion of their bets getting paid. And at MMAnomaly on Twitter /X or Instagram, shoot me a DM, preferably on X if you've got it, because Instagram hides them in the request section. But either way, shoot me a message. Ask me for my Venmo. I owe a couple of you fuckers some money. And I definitely owe a couple of you fuckers a shot. So pouring that part up right now. Oh, man. I'll tell you, I love bourbon. I love whiskey. This is small batch. Like, this is good stuff. It's not even really a shooter necessarily. It is barrel proof, which is terrifying. But all that to say, this is going to be the least tasty shot of bourbon I've ever done in my life. Just because of the context. I'm sad to do it, but it is what it is, folks. So look, if you're drinking, raise one up. If not, that's fine. Raise up the bong, whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe raw dog a big fresh breath of air, folks. Either way, do it with us. We appreciate you. Cheers to you for being here.
Salute. To a good card and to learn some valuable lessons. May you never bet against those Kazakhstan, those dudes from Dagestan in that region.
Sheesh. Dagestan, Kazakhstan, Chechnya, Russia.
Any Stan.
I mean, if their name ends in a V, it's probably not great. And if you have to clear your throat to say their name, probably double not great. Rob Rex said, I had DDP too, bro. Don't worry. I knew Khamzat was going to improve, but not that much. DDP's wrestling was way worse than I thought. Most dominant 5 rounds in the title fight I've seen. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Rob also said, I think it was even more dominant over Khabib and Al. And the fact he did it to DDP is scary. I love Fluffy and Carlo, but I won't be surprised Khamzat. It's dominant for a long time. My man Murphy paid rent for the next couple months, though. I was all in on him. DDP would have bought me a house, though. Brother.
Yeah, man.
Wish I would have seen you come in with that Murphy info. I think you did actually come in the chat last week with the Murphy bets, and I should have told you on those, man. I really should have. But hey, that's on me. That's on me. I'm juiced that you hit, though. I'll tell you next time, bud. I will tell you next time. Now, with that being said, I have to pull up this comment one more time. He said he thinks this is more dominant than what Khabib did to Al. That I disagree with. Okay, no Khabib glazing. All right, I can already fucking see it or feel it coming in the comments. No Khabib glazing here, but the fact that Khabib could have taken him down and just beat the fuck out of him for 25 minutes and chose to stand up and jab him for 25 minutes instead, that was more dominant to me because Khabib didn't have stand up really at that point. He just stood and jabbed. He beat Elliott Quinta essentially with a jab for 25 minutes. So yeah, that was more dominant for me. That was more significant for me. Nano, how would you rank this win as far as dominance goes? Would you say this was one of the most dominant wins or more dominant than Khabib versus Al?
My brother, I mean, though I would hardly ever bet against a Khabib Nurmagomedov, but I do think in this circumstances, in this day and age, and just what I saw, what I witnessed, and I was alive for the Khabib era. I mean, it's not like I'm doing a Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate here. We've all synced it. I synced it, man. And I know you have too. And I think Rob Rex has as well. And I think I'm leaning more Rob Rex. Let me first take a step back and let y'all know I was Team Khamzat. Okay, he is my #1 overall pick for fantasy, UFC fantasy. He is built different, and he is built forward tough and built to last, like the Energizer Bunny. Any other quote I could try to fit in there. He's a problem. And what I'll say is you look at the control time, it was virtually almost every minute of the fight. And I'm pretty sure it was at least the first 2 or 3, for sure, 2, 3, 4. I mean, he had him down within 20 seconds every time. Within 30 for sure. But it was like 15, 20 seconds each round. And then on top of all that, you add in the fact that he had DDP who, I mean, if I'm keeping it a buck too, just look at DDP. And you thought he was going to go in there and be stronger, have more of a presence, frankly, do what he did in that 5th round, more often. But yeah, getting crucifixed for about, 15 out of 20 minutes of getting dominated. I know the significant or the striking differential. That's why one thing I would look at it and I would say, okay, that's BS. Tapping him on the face isn't much, but crucifixing the current champion was pretty dominant. And if you don't want to give him that, I could say probably the most disrespectful win you could go out there and do to another human being, let alone the champion of the world. That was just impressive on all accounts. And for me, it's hard to bet against it. And honestly, I have not walked away. And we've been covering this, my brother, every week now. So we're talking hundreds of episodes. We're talking hours on hours. We're talking a lot of fights. I can't remember the last time I felt like I seen a 40-50 fight. I think that could have almost been 10-8 every round. And that's not hyperbole. So I'll get off my high horse here. But, man, I
scored at 49-42.
49-42?
Yeah.
Was it a how did you score it? How did
I don't remember if which round it was, but there was one round where Khamzat did get like 3.5-4 minutes of control time, but the minute and a half they were up, DDP was reaming him with shots and had him wobbled on the feet, or looked like he had him wobbled on the feet. I scored that a draw round.
Oh, okay, 9-9. So like a 9-9. Okay, gotcha.
I didn't think DDP won any round. I thought he 10-8'd 4 out of the 5 rounds.
Okay, I was like, how'd you get there? But no, I can. That's fair. I mean, listen, man, and new. I think we have the soundbite for it, but there's really only one thing to say in this point in juncture, and it is: if you want to be the champion, just send them to Dagestan 2-3 years and forget. So that's what you want to do to be champion of the world. Go out there for 2-3 years and forget.
Oh man. Rob Rex said, I also saw a Russian interview where Khamzat mentioned 170. I wonder if he would ever take a fight against Islam, and how do you see that fight playing out? I don't think they would fight, though. They might. They have no ties. They don't train together on a regular basis. They're not friends. They're respectful of one another, but they're not friends. So I think Islam would take that fight at 170. And at 170, I think Islam beats him. Khamzat has to cut a lot of weight to get down to 170. He's much more drained. I think 185 is a better division for him. It's the reverse Kevin Holland, right? He's more in that Dustin Poirier situation where he does better at a heavier weight class. So, if Khamzat's a smart man, he will stay at 185. But if he goes down to 170 and challenges to get the double champ situation and has to go against Islam, that's a bad situation. He probably does do bad things to JDM, though. Stylistically, I think that's a bad matchup for JDM, and he could probably get that belt. But again, I think Islam takes that belt from JDM come time for that fight. What do you think, Nato? How would you see that one going?
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. Appreciate the question there, Rob. And man, I would say Khamzat, frankly, matches up well against anyone. I think if he had enough time to get to 170, because it sounds like he took a lot of time off to get to 185 and kind of built himself up. Pretty sure I heard DC mention he's walking around at 2 something. So, and he looked big. Like, that was the big thing coming in. Oh, he looks huge, way bigger than DDP. It's like, well, I mean, he's kind of a lengthy guy, but he looks solid. Obviously, he's strong as shit. So the idea now of him getting back down there or doing what he was kind of doing of just taking fights on short notice and killing himself to get to 170, it's like, yeah, it's obvious. It'd be hard. Do I want to see it? If it's an Islam type matchup, I mean, and it's a super fight type scenario, I mean, man, it'd be hard to pass. But I would think I'd much rather see Khamzat, to your point, settle in at 185. I personally am maybe like a lot of us where I'm getting a little bit of that fatigue of the double, triple champ kind of chasing. Just be great, focus on what you're doing. Get to a certain point, and then maybe you chase that second one. Again, and Islam and Khamzat, maybe that is a matchup where it's just, I mean, man, and real quick, I mean, can we just talk about the stardom? I mean, I got my Chicago shot glass because they were putting on, but the star power that Khamzat had, I mean, Ilya-esque, Islam-esque, Conor-esque, dare I say. I mean, it was powerful. So, they got another one. I like how Rob Rex mentions Arman as well, Sarukian, who, and honestly, that's who we have to blame here. I guess Arman came out and pretty much took credit for the game plan. Khamzat wanted to go out there and give us all a show, but Arman said, no, you stick to the plan. You do what's working best there. And
I don't think it would have gone well for him if he tried to do that.
No, not at all. I mean,
he was getting his bell rung when he was trying to stand up with him.
I mean, Usman had Khamzat in some uncomfortable spots there. Gilbert nearly knocked his ass out as well. Yeah, I mean, Khamzat obviously is not as dominant as he is in the wrestling and grappling game, but boy, is he as dominant can be when it comes to, I guess, being a specialist in that realm. I got my BJJ shirt on. I need to get a wrestling shirt because that is boy, just look at all the champs. They all got that wrestling base, that not Greco-Roman, but it's kind of making that second wave again. So love to see it.
And I got to tell you, man, after that fight, from Saturday to today, I should say, I've watched countless videos that I've seen posted since then of how to escape the top crucifix. And every video I've watched, Nano, I kid you not, has not at all shown how to get out of the crucifix DDP was in specifically. Because typically a top mount crucifix has your rear leg resting at the shin point across the wrist point or forearm of your opponent, pinning that down. Khamzat wrapped that rear arm, that power arm, with his legs crossed, his ankles crossed. That makes it significantly harder to get it out. So a lot of these people are saying all he had to do is basically get his leg up high enough to where he could get his knee inside and then push and pry the outer leg up, or the penetrating leg up. It's simply not possible for him to do in that position. He had like what I would call like we've said this for years, like the Dagestani handcuff position. It was made famous by Khabib. I genuinely think that's going to start being called like the Chechnyan crucifix, or the Chechnyan top crucifix, because it was perfect. And I mean, the only way to get out of it would be if he did it up against the cage, which every time he did it, he'd shoot and try to pressure to get him to the center. Very smart, because if he's against the side of the cage, he can use his legs to walk up and then like basically just power shot out. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of stress and wear and tear, but it's a sound path to get to top position and reverse that situation that you're in. He simply was never put in that nice of a situation, right? He was always stuck there in the middle of the water, just drowning in quicksand. It was a tough situation to watch. It was domination from pillar to post, from bell to bell. And it was not the fight I expected to see. It was not the way I expected it to go. I thought DDP would be a lot better on the ground than he was. I thought he'd be able to reverse some of those positions, but he simply was not. But again, if you want to know how the fight would have went if it would have stayed standing at all, 529 strikes landed to 45, 13 to 37 on significant strikes. So a 10th in total strikes, and he landed a little over a third in actual power shots. That tells me DDP would have had a clear path to victory if this was not a grappling match. So good on Khamzat. I don't think he earned a ton of fans with this performance. Now, what do you think should be next for him ideally?
Man, and yeah, to your point, may not have earned a bunch more, but I think, like I said, kind of leading up there, he had plenty going in. I think he said, screw it, I don't care. Like Armand mentioned to him, hey, just get your belt. Figure out the rest later. Took care of business. But yeah, in terms of what's next for Khamzat, I mean, whatever he wants, right? Whatever Dana and Brash say, it seems like there's kind of a process of elimination going on. I think first and foremost with Kaio, who was the backup, who is going to be fighting Imavov, another absolute dog. Kaio's been saying a lot. I mean, they've been training. He's mentioned like he knows how his camp works. Really making a strong case, in my opinion. I even love the fact that he said, if Dana White called me, said, fuck him, or let's fight Khamzat later this year, fuck Imavov, let's go. I like the fact that he's focused on the prize, and can put the friendly competitiveness, in its place. But it seems like it's going to be the winner of those guys are going to fight maybe the winner of a RDR versus Fluffy, unless you think that winner should just straight go get Khamzat, which stylistically probably makes the most sense. But again, to answer your question in a long-winded way, if you're to ask me, I think I would rather just see Kaio straight up against Khamzat. Fighting nerd, it sells, it's big. He did kind of sell me on that idea. Maybe he has to go in first. Maybe he doesn't get hurt and wants to run it back quick, in which case I'd say that might be the move. What do you think, brother?
Well, I can't imagine that. I cannot imagine that RDR comes out of that fight undamaged, or the opposition, right? And also the Kaio fight is happening right around the corner, just a couple weeks from now versus a couple months from now. If Caio Borralho wins this fight, or if Nasruddin Imavov wins this fight, that's who should get the title shot. You've got to run that fight. If they didn't schedule the RDR fight that they just scheduled, I say RDR has deserved it. I think you put him in there, you give him the shot. Fluffy sits on the sidelines and he gets the next shot. But that's just the way the cards kind of go, man. So I'm excited, though. I'm excited for the way these fights are playing out. And shout out Grimy. And no, you were right. I was wrong. I don't know if you were here. I already did my shot for you, but I have another one coming up for the next fight because I was wrong in the co-main as well. So you'll get to witness another one of those bad boys. And for the money that I owe you, the 25 big ones, send me your Venmo on Instagram or Twitter. That way I can go ahead and send you that money, brother. Did DDP even bring a wrestler into camp, LOL? How bad was that corner advice of his also? Who did he train with? He needed some wrestling coaches with him. No disrespect to DDP and his coaches, but damn, you didn't even have a single answer. What the fuck? I agree, Rob Rex and Grammy. I mean, it was a hard one to watch. I got no excuses for the man, and I don't think he has any either. So with that, we move into the co-main event of the evening, folks. Nano, unless you have anything else you want to add on that.
No, you're right. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, Khamzat's just that good, and yeah, I don't know if it's DDP had an off day, but it's just couldn't get it done. Didn't show up when he needed to. That's what matters. He
did not show up when he needed to the most. But somebody that did was Lerone the Miracle Murphy coming in against Aaron Pico the Gallo. He was not the Gallo. Man. Spinning back elbow. Not one, but two of those on the night. No, I got to be honest with you. Aaron Pico looked really good up until the moment he didn't. And this is the one thing I worried about. People told me to be careful with the line on this because he has that Dustin Poirier-esque, like, oh, if I get hit, I'm going to scrap kind of in his blood, you know? And it showed. It showed, man. He got hit and he wanted to move forward, and he paid the ultimate price for it by getting a spinning back elbow KO'd. It was tough to watch. It was tough to see. He was out for quite some time, breathing very heavily. Man, the follow-up shot was not necessary at all, but it happened either way. And here we are. Here we are to do a shot. Bellator fighters not named MVP are not having a good time in the UFC. Gotta say.
That's bad.
Cheers, folks. Grimy, this one's for you, brother. You won that bet. Cheers to you and to every one of you that's in here right now. If you're drinking, drink with us. If not, that's fine too. We appreciate you all the same. Cheers.
Much appreciate. Salute.
Ooh. Now, Nano, what were your thoughts on this co-main event of the evening?
My brother, you really set me up there for success. I couldn't agree more with you. It was a fun back and forth. It looked like Aaron Pico de Gallo had a lot of steam. Strong boxer. Like, I was loving the body work. Everything he was doing was masterclass. And Lerone, man, and it just felt like he allowed Aaron Pico to build up that false sense of confidence, and then he Venus flytrapped him right into where he wanted. He really mentioned it in the his post-fight speech. All I needed to hear. He said he saw he was really aggressive. He was leaning forward, cutting him off. He said he hit him with the knee early on and then found his mark. Obviously, the second time around, he saw the same look. Pulled up with the spinning back fist. Absolute nasty. Maybe he saw Carlos Prates right before. A little bit of a spoiler there. But, yeah, I mean, absolute textbook. Lerone Murphy is as lethal as it gets. And as someone that has kind of flown under the radar for a while in his career, slowly creeped up into that top 10, top 7, top 5, that moment like that, he mentioned it. He was just waiting for that whole shit moment, and he finally got it against a guy who I like Aaron Pico. Like, I still think he can do some really, really good things in the UFC. I think that was just an unfortunate, fortunately timed and maybe a good learning lesson for himself, where you're used to being the best, especially in a Bellator. He was the guy. So you just think it's what I do. I'm going to keep doing what I do best, walk forward, take him down. His boxing was super crispy, but knowing he has that wrestling as well. I mean, man, again, he matches up with a lot of people in this division. DC mentioned the knockouts and things like that. I mean, he's been KO'd before. A lot of people have. I don't know if it's like one of those things where just thinking for his health, like maybe he shouldn't, but I'm excited to see what Pico, whatever's next for him, someone ranked, maybe even a Patricio, who cares? There's a couple guys coming in. Josh Emmett, looking at the top rankings, seems like another fun striker that they can go out there, swing and bang. And then obviously for Mr. Lerone Murphy, I think the champion Volkanovski said it best, just December or, whatever it is, just I see you soon, boy, in other words. So loved it, man. I'm hopefully I left you some meat on the bone for you, but man, tell us your thoughts and how you see this all playing out here for the division.
Yeah, great breakdown as always, Nano. So, look, man, it was a great performance from Lerone. Like, nothing more, nothing less. He got tagged in the opening seconds of that opener round, right? Like he was eating him up. Pico was landing at range, and it looked like there was a moment where, like you said, like Lerone said, he landed a knee, and it's like, cool, I found my range. I got him now. And he started walking back, and I was like, oh, this is like in the fight, watching it live. I thought this is a mistake. Walking backwards with somebody that's as forward pressure heavy as Pico is a big mistake. You're letting him open up. You're letting him turn the pressure on the faucet, right? And he's going to waterboard you as a result. But that was not the case. This man had a cork, and he just fucking plugged the faucet instantaneously, stopping the flow of water coming towards him. He walked Aaron Pico right onto that elbow, led him forward like a moth to the flame that was inevitably going to fucking toast him. And it did just that. Phenomenal to see. Rob Rex says, hate to see Pico like that. Love the kid. Lerone Murphy is underrated, man. He almost finished him at the 5th round. Hate to say it, but I think he picks Volk apart too. Maybe not prime Volk, though. I agree, Rob. That's actually the fight I want to see. I want to see Volkanovski versus Lerone Murphy. I think that's a fun fight. And then I think you pair up Josh Emmett with Aaron Pico. Two guys that are going to just throw cannons. Someone's going to get knocked the fuck out. And hey, Leroy, how's it going, man? Hope Australia's treating you great, mate. Take your shirt off. Sterling Haynes, probably. Yeah, probably.
Hell yeah.
Probably. Yeah, man. I like those fights. Like, what do you think of Lerone Murphy versus Volkanovski and Aaron Pico versus Josh Emmett?
I think those are the right moves. I definitely agree with you. I think Lerone finally earned his stamp at the belt for that contender status. What more do you have to do, right? And like you mentioned, for Aaron Pico, give him another good striker. Give him one of our big bad buff guys as well. Josh Emmett, absolutely love that matchup. That'd be crazy. Both guys from Cali, so you could do that out here in the West Coast and put on a main card. Could even maybe be a fight night main event.
San Diego or Sacramento card? Sign me up, kid.
Say less. Oh, we need it.
Yeah,
San Jose,
fire, bro.
Hey, man, you never know.
Oh man, San Jose SAP Center. Let's go, kid. I'll be there.
One can hope. One can hope.
I will be there if that's the case. Speaking of one can hope, man, we got what we hoped we'd get in this welterweight fight between Jeff Hands of Steel Neal and Carlos Cigahechi and Whiskey Prates. Man. This was one of those fights that we saw being an absolute banger. We thought it was going to be a fun fight for every second that it lasted, and it lasted up until the final second of round number 1. Buzzer beater, walk-off KO from Carlos Prates. Again, somebody who found the range early, just basically walked his opponent onto his shots when he wasn't walking himself forward and just marching into the fire. I mean, just nasty work, bro. I thought Carlos Prates looked fucking good out there. I thought this was a major resurgence, him getting right back on the saddle. And I'm here for it, man. I'm all in on Carlos Prates. Like, I every time this guy fights, it's must-see TV. And the fact that Dana told him he was getting the bonus before he even left the octagon tells you everything you need to know about the kid. Yeah, this was, as usual, must-see TV. The kid is a fucking superstar. Rob Rex says, is it me or one gives better guys into UFC than Bellator? Shit, even Glory. One definitely gives better guys than UFC or into UFC than Bellator. Facts, Rob Rex. Should Pico get a top 10 featherweight after losing in the first round? Yes, because he was winning up until the moment that he lost, Jax. We got to call a spade here. Lerone Murphy is arguably a top 3, not a top 10. He is a top 3 featherweight. And not just today, but if you put him in there pretty much in any decade I've seen in mixed martial arts, he's a top 3 featherweight of all time. Yeah, I think Pico, with the stock and the fan base and also the limited time that he has, the limited time clock that he has left, you gotta keep him in rotation. Gotta give him another top 10 featherweight, in my opinion. Nano, what are your thoughts on these chat questions? And also, what were your thoughts on that welterweight bout between Jeff Neal and Carlos Prates?
Yeah, I'll stick in the chat real quick so we're just there. Yeah, I agree with you, Rob Rex. I agree with you to answer Rob Rex's question. One FC definitely bringing us some bangers. Pico, I do agree. I do think he should get a top 10er. I do think he's a top 10 featherweight. Yeah, he lost in the first round, but he looked good up until then. And just looking at the landscape, he is a problem. And honestly, he was supposed to fight Movsar Evloev. So I kind of feel bad for him too. You're preparing for one guy, you get totally different stylistic fighter, and unfortunately you get knocked out. And those things happen. But yeah, I still think the UFC has big plans for him, and he'll be just fine. He's 28 or something like that. So still another 6 years if he really wants to come out and put on some shows. Worst case, it's a Michael Chandler scenario where you're just a name and you're making good money. But I honestly think he can contend with the right game plan, hopefully with the right approach and some subtle changes. But holy cow, Carlos Prates, our guy, the fighting nerd, Chama, one of the best in the world. I love hearing him talk. Love the mustache. That was kind of something I didn't think I liked at first, but it grew on me. And like we were talking about offline, something about seeing him smoke cigarettes just makes him look that much cooler. Look at this freaking guy, y'all. Just with all due respect, guy just looks cool. Smoking stogies, even after the fight, as he's doing his conference, sparking up. I'm like, what a kind of give me some Nate Diaz energy there. And if you know, you know. But in terms of the fight itself,
I very rarely crave cigarettes, but when Carlos Prates fight week comes around, for whatever reason, it just happens.
Just have a shigahechi, man. That's it. That's what he does. He's an influential guy. He's got that riz. He's got that aura, as the kids are saying. But really, he's got great fighting skills, and we saw it on display. I was a little worried at times leading up. I was going back and forth. Not that I was completely waffling on Carlos Prates. I knew he was going to do well, and we both knew it was going to be less than 2.5. We didn't think it was going to get out the first round. It almost did. But honestly, Carlos is just so well-rounded. He's smart. I think he learned a lot going the distance with the Ian Gary, and I thought the call-out was perfect. Leon Edwards is the right guy, ex-champion. Hasn't fought in a while, coming off a loss. And if you're Leon, do you want to fight a Shavkat? You just lost to a Sean Brady. Do you want to fight a Ian Machado, Gary? I hate to say it, but he's looking like a problem as well. All these guys are trending the right direction. So is Carlos, frankly. Not that he's a walk in the park, but at least you can test yourself from a kickboxer's perspective, put on a great show for all of us, and you sit back and live with the results, and we'll sit back with our popcorn and enjoy. But I do think that's the move. I think Carlos was asked about an MVP potentially. That's an interesting one. I don't love that for Carlos, but MVP has definitely entered the chat. But no, I think it's got to be Leon personally. And then for Jeff, even a Daniel Rodriguez, a Gabriel Bonfim, heck, Kevin Holland sitting down there at the 15th spot. Any of those guys, I think, is totally fine.
Yeah, I'm definitely not bad at that. When it comes to Prates, coming off a big win like that, I'd love to see him fight the guy that he's calling out, Leon Edwards, right? Like, that's just it's a fun fight. It makes a lot of sense. And if you're not going to give him Leon Edwards, I'd love to see what the fuck happened to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Give him Shavkat. Let's see what happens there. Like Shavkat had some trouble with Ian Gary. I think he has some trouble with Carlos Prates as well. So I think that's a fun matchup. And then for Jeff Neal, Jeff Neal versus Colby Chaos Covington makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And I also think it puts asses in seats. Judging by your face, I feel like it might be a low-key banger, as the kids call it.
I'd love to see that. I don't know what's going on with Colby, but if it's anyone, I think a Joff Neal would definitely make sense. More than a Kevin Holland, I think, personally. I'd rather see Kevin fight someone else, personally. Ooh, Neal versus Buckley. That's someone I didn't think about either. How'd he go?
Love my Texas guy, Neal, but he's too hittable for Prates. We knew that was going to happen. I like the Leon call-out. I think he wins that, but MVP called him out for Brazil. In my opinion, MVP schools Prates. I think that's a fun fight, too. Prates versus MVP. Man, that'd be a good one. Michael Morales also is ready for Brazil. I think he's ranked number 10, and I think he beats Prates also. Woo! Morales is a really good one. Neal versus Buckley is a really good one, man. Neal versus Buckley is a banger of a matchup. I'm with that. I'm with that. Speaking of what I'm with, we got to move into this middleweight bout now. It was a bout between Jared Cannonier and Michael Venom Page MVP. Holy shit, Nano. This fight was fireworks from start to finish, from pillar to post. This fight, in my opinion, had a little bit of everything, and it was just a fun one to watch. It ultimately goes to decision. Michael Venom Page gets the nod. Did you think the judges got it right for once?
Yeah, after some questionable decisions potentially, no, all jokes aside, I thought so. I mean, this was a close matchup stylistically. Although you look at the striking and you may think, oh, well, it's pretty close. There's some takedowns. It all went Cannonier's way. Maybe he did enough. The eyeball test told me that it just felt like MVP was getting more of the significant strikes, had the heavier punches, was leaving more damage on Cannonier. And so I think that's where I was leaning. I figured he was going to MVP was going to get it done, but it was close, man. I mean, Jared Cannonier is an absolute savage. I don't care how old he is at this point. A prime Cannonier it might be a different night for our boy MVP. As slick as he is, I'll be honest. I mean, some of the antics, it's sort of making him into a villain kind of arc in my head a little bit. I love it as much as the next guy to an extent. I think he's going a little too far. It's like, it's only a matter of time before you get caught doing all that extra shit. That's all I'm saying. And if someone's going to be able to do it, shoot, man. Is it the Grim Reaper? Is that who we need to see go out there and try to fight this guy? I can't think of many other people, but certainly makes sense on both sides to go out there and get it done. I'm talking about a Robert Whittaker against MVP next, potentially. I know he called out Carlos Prates. I don't know about that one personally. I mean, you'd have to go down a division. So
there's no need for him to go back down.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing here? Yeah, that's my pick.
You can't kingpin two divisions if you're not the champ. Just take your pick. Yeah, great breakdown as always, Nano. And I agree with you on all fronts. I thought Cannonier looked good, but not great. And Michael Venom Page did look great, right? He landed less total strikes and more significant strikes, and that tells you he's a fucking sniper in the booth, boys. He was phenomenal. That karate point style fighter is something that we haven't really seen used to this extent in the UFC, and it's a very fun look, right? Like it's hard for people to adapt to. A lot of people don't have the right tools in the toolbox to counter this style. So very, very nice to watch. Michael Venom Page is definitely a pleasure when he's on his feet out there because, again, if you're a striker or someone who enjoys watching striking, it's art. Like this is the last word of MMA. He is putting the art back in mixed martial arts. He is out there painting masterpieces with other men's faces on his feet and his shins and his knees and his fists and his head and his shoulders and knees and toes. Brother, he's out there just racking them up. It's nice to see. Now, what do I think should be next for the young man? I think Sean Strickland versus MVP is the money fight. I think that fight puts asses in seats. I think both guys are good talkers. Both guys are fun enough fighters. And I think MVP has what it takes to make Sean Strickland look silly. But we've seen Sean Strickland make people that are supposed to make him look silly. A la Israel Adesanya, right? So what up, Cross? How we doing, brother? You already missed us glazing your guy Khamzat and doing a shot for him. But we got another shot after this if you want to stick around. So Manowitz. Michael Venom Page, though. This guy's a fucking G. So I'd like to see him fight Sean Strickland, and I'd like to see Jared Cannonier fight the loser of Nasruddin Imavov versus Caio Borralho. I think it'd be a fun rematch for Jared Cannonier to be able to possibly get one back. And yeah, Boris. All right. Fucking guy. That was dominant. It was domination, man. Pillar to post. Nano, what do you think of those matchups?
I like it a lot. I think you nailed it, brother. Can't really go wrong. I mean, honestly, yeah. MVP is just so interesting. He's just like a unique puzzle to try to solve. So I really, frankly, want to see him fight anybody. Sean Strickland's a great name.
The other name that came to mind for me would be the loser of the Fluffy versus RDR fight.
RDR is an intriguing one as well. If I'm being
That's
real.
the one I'd rather see. I'd rather see RDR versus MVP. I just think that's a fun fight.
Two newcomers in the UFC making a name for themselves.
Ooh, you know how long I've been waiting for this?
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Brother. Love it. I love it. And with that, we find ourselves at the bottom of the main card, folks. A fight that we got wrong. A fight in which I should have listened to what I usually say on every fucking stream, folks. I should have listened to my own fucking advice. Veteranship wins fights. I just thought 21-5 Asakura would come out here and have the wit and the steel and the iron and the metal to get it done. But I digress. I got a shot to do as a result of being fucking wrong, folks. Look, it was tough. It was a tough one. Asakura was winning this fight. He opened up very strong. He was winning. He was doing everything right. Except he did something you don't want to do against an old dog. He started taunting. He started goading him in and just almost applauding him like, oh, yeah, nice shot. Oh, that was a weak one. You can't hit me. You can't hurt me. And you don't want to do that too long to Tim because Tim's just going to start hitting harder and harder and harder and getting crafty and crafty. He started landing body shots that you could tell were adding up very quickly against Kai Asakura, and you could tell that the body shots were doing a lot more than the headshots were. And that's ultimately what led to the demise of Kai Asakura. Right. Tim's just that guy. He's a wily fucking veteran. Dude is 21-13-1. Folks, that is a lot of fights. That is 35 fights. It's a lot of experience. He's got 8 wins by submission. He just added another one on Saturday, folks, by way of guillotine choke. The guy's a fucking stud. And it was a real y'all must have forgot moment for Tim, right? The dude is putting old men on the map. He's 38 years of age. He still got it. And he's had fights against a who's who in the division. We went through this last Thursday when we talked about these fights, folks. I should have known better. And with that, I have to do a fucking shot. So here we are, folks. A bet made, a debt paid, as we like to say on the show. Cheers to you. Cheers to us. Cheers to keeping on going, keeping on growing. And if you haven't done it already, like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And maybe do a fucking shot. You look thirsty. Cheers.
Let's go. Salute. Well said. Well said.
Hit him, Nano.
There's not much more. What's understood doesn't need to be explained, my brother. You really hit the nail on the head. I mean, this was a little shocking to me, if I'm being real. I did that shot with you. Obviously, because we don't leave each other to do shots alone around here. But also, I was leaning my boy Kai Asakura. I thought this was going to be his bounce back. To your point, he looked great. He had his moments, but maybe focused too much on the showmanship. And just, man, someone like a Tim MF and Elliott is just an absolute problem. And he's someone that, to your point, gets better with the time going on. Like, he's able to dig deep and kind of find that deep motivation. He really had a chip on his shoulder coming in here. We all know that. The odds and I think the hype around a Kai Asakura, obviously being kind of the new kid on the block, it almost feels like, you know, someone getting transferred into your territory or something. You know, you just all of a sudden feel like this person's trying to take what's yours. And Tim's a dog. Love what I saw. I don't know if it was true that Kai requested to go to Ryzen, but if that's true, I mean,
I saw that. I don't think that's true. I think that was just I think that was a satire post.
Okay. Because I was going to say, that'd be unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
I think it was a satire. I hope. My God, could you imagine, dude? Like,
I mean, I'm like,
you get
geez,
into the biggest promotion in the
look.
world, and you're like, actually, I kind of want to go back. It was easier there.
I mean, it's not a good look. Not a good look.
It's not a good look. But you know what is a good look? Having the best barber in the business. And I'm happy that he's in the chat right now. Mikey, my guy. Love to know that you're here.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate the support. Nano, I know you don't have a whole lot to add to the fight, but I know you've got to have a name on the tip of your tongue. What should be next for Timothy Elliott, the old dog?
Man, the old dog is in a great spot, man. He's aging like a fine wine. We're talking like a George Clooney, like a good barrel aged whiskey here, single malt, scotch, whatever it is, whatever you're into. There's a few guys, man, that I think he can match up really well with. Obviously the timing of things is always a big factor, but and it sounds bullish, but I just love the guy. I love the matchup. But a Tim Elliott versus someone like a Kai Car France. I mean, I don't know if that's too high up, but it just feels like Tim, after getting a big win like that as an underdog, get close to that top 5. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
I'm not mad at that name.
Hey, I mean, anyone in the top 10, I think would be fun, personally. What do you think?
You know what's funny is I have someone right outside of the top 10.
Oh, shoot.
It's funny that you said anybody in the top 10. What if he's number 11, though? Stevie Siggs, little Steve Erceg. I just think that's a fun banger of a matchup. Two wily veterans, both kind of at that same trajectory of like, all right, well, loser probably needs to look at other options and packing it up. Winner is going on their last title run. I don't know. I like Erceg versus Tim Elliott. And I honestly, gun to my head as of this specific moment in time, I don't know how I bet. I don't know who I put my money on.
No, it's a close matchup. I do like that as well. If Kai's maybe too rich for a lot of people's blood or Dana's blood,
I think Kai beats Tim.
Yeah.
I like the matchup, but I think it's too much for Tim. If Tim can get past a Steve, then you give him a Kai, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the matches that are so close that, like, when I bet on them, I feel nervous. You know what I mean?
You just like the rush. I feel it.
I do. Like with that one, like Steve Erceg, they give like it's not even like you can't say, oh man, Steve Erceg gives Tim Elliott problems. You can say like Tim Elliott gives Steve Erceg problems. I mean, I think the real statement is like, man, both those guys can give each other problems in there. It's gonna be a tough matchup. No matter who wins, that guy didn't have a fun night at the office.
Not a chance.
Oh, Elliott versus Alex Perez. Making the walk. Okay, two things. One, great matchup. Two, if I'm Elliott, I'd never sign that. Because you'd have to sign that contract 7 times before you actually fight Alex Perez. The dude cancels every like 5 out of every 7 fights, bro. It's tough. Like,
yeah, it's bad. Bad luck.
I don't know. I'm not signing to fight a guy that pulls out that often. That just seems like a wasted training camp and a waste of pay to my nutritionist and all that good shit. What was not a waste was a man that stepped up on 4 days' notice. A man who fought on Dana White's Contender Series and a man who decided to make the trip to fight again. My fucking goodness. Baisangur Susurkaev came in there in the middleweight division against Eric Nolan, who also stepped up on short notice. Another man who deserves his flowers, his praise. And another man who made it competitive, right? It was 22 versus 36 on significant strikes, 24 versus 59 on total strikes. It was a close fight. The issue is Eric Nolan just could not find a way to get through or past the grappling duress that was in front of him. The onslaught of takedowns that was coming his way was just too much for him to bear. And ultimately, he succumbs to the rear naked choke of a very game and very durable Susurkaev. There were moments in that first and second round where it did look dangerous for Susurkaev, right? Like Eric Nolan was not making this an easy fight. He was making it a fight. Make no mistake. I'll leave some meat on the bone for you. I don't want to devour it all before I pass it over. But I as I pass it to you, I leave you with this. Okay? I learned 2 things from this fight. One, Baisangur Susurkaev is good, and Khamzat was right when he said he's better than him. I don't know if he's better than him skill for skill or pound for pound, but he is better than him when it comes to building fans. He's already got more people online talking about how expensive his watch was on stage compared to DDP's. And he's got more people watching his first fight in the UFC than probably any other superstar currently than you can name compared to their first fight in the UFC. And the second thing I learned, Nano, is that I truly pray to God they don't cut Eric Nolan. They give this man another chance with a full fight camp. Do not Chris Moutinho this fucking kid. Don't fuck him over, Dana. Give him a shot at a real camp. Give him a shot at a real fight that is a competitive fight that he can win. Because real talk, if this was a full fight camp and he, like, I know Susurkaev took it on short notice too, but hey, you just fought 4 days ago. You're in good shape. You're already in fight shape. And he took 0 damage in that first fight. So it was a lopsided kind of ask for Eric Nolan. I just hope they continue to give this man another shot. Am I going to play matchmaker for a middleweight that's making his UFC debut this weekend? Yeah, I am. But I'm going to let you give your breakdown first, and then I'll give you my name.
Right on. I appreciate that. No, I mean, listen, man, this guy's the real deal, Holyfield. I think the style was there. The comfort on the big stage was there. Obviously, the perfect record is there. We didn't, I say we, but I did not have the chance to really watch the Dana White Contender Series, so I was unaware of his game. So maybe you were a little bit more on the radar of this guy coming in and really gaining that notoriety. You mentioned the watch. I mean, that's obviously swagger in and of itself. And I mean, maybe it's just one of those things, right? I thought I heard someone mention maybe he was a soccer player or he was doing something before, or football. I mean, either way, I mean, the guy looked like an athlete. He's world class. And you got to give his opponent all the credit in the world. Like, he went out there and gave him a good run for his money. Or Eric Nolan being, shout out Eric Nolan. He put on a good show. He was tough. He was talking some mess. Really helped sell the fight. The knee shots. I mean, this homie Susurkaev really, really put a hurting on our boy. And the knee shots were just, I mean, he visibly like grabbed his knee. I don't know if he popped it out of place or just was perfectly landed, as we obviously all saw, but it was a good display that this kid has a lot of skills. Obviously, we know him comes off for the wrestling, and he does have that pedigree as well, but the striking is what did stand out to me. I'll let you play matchmaker. I don't really have a great name top of mind. If it were up to me, let him go smash anybody he wants, but I'm sure you have a good realistic name here that you put some thought into. So let the people know how you feel about what's next for this guy.
I appreciate the vote of confidence on realistic names. I have 3 names. One of them is probably realistic. The other 2 might be a little bit too rich for anyone's blood. But I'm going to start with the 2 far-fetched ones, all right? And then I'll go into the one that I think makes a lot of sense trajectory-wise and namesake-wise. So the first 2 I'm going to say are, if he's still fighting after Saturday's loss, Gerald GM3 Mearshart. Put him into the deep water. The kid wants to be a superstar. If Susurkaev goes out there and beats GM3, guess what? That was Khamzat's second fight in the UFC too. Poetic?
Oh, man. Like a sacrificial lamb kind of way, but yeah, it's poetic
That's
justice.
what made Boers famous. Boers got like an 11-second knockout on him. He stepped on his lead leg and then hit him with an overhand right. Capitan Rafucho! Sup, fellas? Raf in the building, late for sure. Boers Nation, brother. Happy to have you in the building. Better late than never. Rob Rex, great matchup. I bet the house on GM3 on that fight. Bro, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is a winnable fight for GM3. I think GM3 does a good job with these up-and-comers. And then outside of GM3, there's another name that I think is a bit far-fetched, even for my blood, right? Bit too rich. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. I just think Andre Petroski is a fun matchup for this kid. He's coming off a loss. Hard to say no when you're coming off a loss, right? In his last 6, he's 3-3. It's tough pickings. Self-proclaimed best wrestler in the middleweight division. I mean, makes a lot of sense.
I like that one a lot more. I like that more than the GM3. I know we're going to be talking about him next, but I didn't like what I saw from our boy GM3 this last week. I don't think you could put him in there with another killer. So Petrosky makes sense. It's a win-win.
I like that.
Good namesake. They can do it anywhere in the world pretty much. But yeah, that's I like your heads. You got one more?
If you like the second name, you're going to love the third name. And this is what we do, right? You know, you want to build, right? You don't start with the icing. You start with the cake. You get to the sweetest part at the very end, brother.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Oh,
I'm
brother.
digging in already.
I really think you're going to like this one. They're right next to each other on Tapology ranking system, too. I'm going Matuto. Marco Tulio. I think this fight is fireworks. And this goes against everything I say every episode when we do these matchmaking shits. It's two bright shining stars, and one of them is ultimately probably going to get burnt out in this fight. I mean, just like Rob Rex said how he bet the house on GM3, I'd almost bet the house on Marco Tulio in this fight. I think Matuto does bad things to him, but I think he goes into this fight with a fancy watch and a very, very brash set of shit talk, if I'm being honest. Making the walks, throwing darts at the board, brother. The winner of Dricus Du Plessis versus Zach Reese is certainly a shout.
It's very nice you making the walk. Just say Zach Reese,
Just say Zach Reese.
Yeah, come on. Don't be crazy. I like your
Zach Reese. Zach Reese versus Baisangur Susurkaev is actually a fucking fun matchup.
It is.
And if your man crush beats fucking Susurkaev, that's a pole vaulting of a popularity contest.
You be in the contention, baby.
Speaking of pole vaulting into popularity, we got to move into the middleweight division here, folks, or rather stay in the middleweight division, but move on through the middleweight division into a bout that took place right before this one between Gerald GM3 Mearshart coming in against Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Oh, Nana, I'm going to come to you first, Nano. But I'm not just going to say, hey, tell us your thoughts on the fight. I got to ask you, A, tell us your thoughts on the fight, obviously. But B, tell us your thoughts on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, the world's palest fighting nerd. Like, is he still the same guy, or are we seeing noticeable and vast differences, new layers in the onion that is his fight game?
It's definitely that. It's layers of onions, layers of whatever food or delicacy that they eat out there in Brazil. Never been, so don't want to assume anything. But listen, man, Michael O is for show. Michael O getting the W's is what he's doing. Yeah, he looks good in that fighting nerd camp. Maybe he's the diversity hire, like the token white boy. But we'll allow it because he's got the swagger, he's got the moxie, and he's getting the wins. I think when you're really trying to earn your stripes and make a name for yourself here in the UFC, and let's call a spade. You're on a 3-fight skid. You're just lucky to stay in the octagon. You're lucky to just continue to be employed. Maybe that took some of the pressure off. Maybe he needed that extra pressure. Either way, he's now got 2 wins back to back. And like they're saying in the commentary, if you were to go back and watch these are all the free prelims. So if you got ESPN, you can go check them out. And maybe by this time next year, if you're in the United States, you might be able to go check it all out on Paramount. That's a different conversation. But Michael Lowe's boxing looked crispy. I think the fighting nerds has definitely rubbed off on him. They're utilizing his skill set, his athleticism, that speed. And brother, I know speed kills out here. So that was all in his favor. And then once you see GM3 just starting to kind of fall and go into the cockroach position there, assuming Michael O might jump in and do something silly and get caught with a ghillie. But yeah, the body language, I think even just the chin, and not to disrespect Michael O. I know he's got power, and he was hitting him with some really fast, snappy shots, which probably hurt you more than the big looping overhand or whatever. But GM3, I just didn't like what I saw. I don't know how much longer he's got left in the gas tank. We all know Father Time's undefeated. And once you're getting routinely dropped on just what feels like a routine counter shot, I don't know how much more you really got to prove at this point. You got the most finishes, I believe. So let's just leave it there. Take your record and walk away. Break the wrist, walk away.
I love you to death, Nano, but I gotta firmly disagree with you when, like, only because you're saying like GM3 got dropped by Michael O. Not to discredit Michael O's power, but like when you're getting routinely dropped like this, he doesn't get routinely dropped. He got dropped by people like Khamzat and Michael O, which Michael O is not known for dropping people.
Right.
But I've now been to, I believe, double-digit live events. For sure, double-digit live events if you include Bellator and regional fights. The hardest I've ever seen someone get hit in my entire life in person at a live event wasn't a knockout. Okay, and mind you, I saw Dominic Cruz get hit by a baseball bat that was known as Chito Vera's leg. Okay, so I've seen some hard fucking hits. The hardest I've ever seen anybody get hit, and the only reason I think it probably felt this way to me is because I was 5 or 6 rows away from the cage. I went to see Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev. And this man got hit so hard, his body hit the fucking octagon, and my feet vibrated from the reverberation of his body eating that shot and then concussively hitting the octagon. By the way, the guy that hit the octagon that night, he won the fight via submission off his back. His name was Kevin Holland, and Mikhail Oleksiejczuk knocked him flat as a fucking sack of bricks. And it was a pullback fucking straight right. It's the same thing that dropped GM3. So, like, Kevin Holland's chin is not cracked. I wouldn't say that for a second. So, like, if that shot could drop him, brother, respectfully, I'm going to disagree with you and say that shot could probably drop anybody in the fucking division.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Mikhail's got hands, dude. Like, people see him and they're like, oh, Oleksiejczuk, grappler. Dude is a boxer, bro. And
nice,
like, fun fact, you think of fighting nerds, you think like, okay, they're a Brazilian fight team. They're very selective with their shots, but they're all really good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I would imagine they have a very strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu focused camp. No, they have a boxing and kickboxing focused camp. The guy that's running the fucking show, you may not have heard of him, but his nickname is The Alchemist. His real name is Pablo Sucupira. And by the way, he's 5-0 in professional boxing. Before he decided to become a trainer. The dude is a monster. And he is cerebral. That's why his nickname is The Alchemist. So, Mikhail Oleksiejczuk is someone who already had natural, raw boxing talent. This dude is molding and sculpting it, right? Like, if I'm going to drop a comic book reference for the nerds in the chat right now, okay? Vibranium is only as strong as what you're able to mold it into. Think about that. Vibranium is only as strong as what you are able to mold it into. I'm talking about the strongest substance in the Marvel Comics universe. But it's only as strong as what you mold it into in the hands of the person it's in, right? You make it into a shield, to give that shield to Iron Man, he's probably going to be fucking useless. You give it to Cap, that guy can change a fucking outcome of a war, right? So you take someone who already has good raw boxing talent, you drop him in to the fucking lab with the Alchemist. Oh man, we're making some dangerous, venomous fucking concoctions in that lab, my guy. We are doing hurt. We are doing damage. We are doing fucking venomous things to the opposition. Making the Walk said Shart actually accurately describes GM3's performance. You know, those last 3 performances, they weren't bad. They were merely shots. You can call them mere shots. Yeah, nice. No, bad jokes aside. Yeah, they were definitely mere shots, those performances. But I don't know if he should hang them up. Now, with that being said, we have a hell of a stacked middleweight division. What should be next for Mikhail Oleksiejczuk after such a win?
Man, I think somebody. No, it's good. Honestly, I think who makes sense here, that they're both in a similar ranking, and it's unfortunate. We talked about it, but we didn't get to see it because mother effing Brian Battle lost the battle and he lost the war. Okay, he came in way overweight, so we didn't get a chance to see our boy Nursultan Urzeboyev. But I do think that's somebody who's looking to want to fight as soon as possible. Michael Lowe, maybe you're the guy. I don't know. I like that matchup, and they're both similar ranking, so I would throw his name in the ring. But Michael Lowe has definitely entered the chat. Bruno Ferreira, if you want to go do it out there in Brazil.
Bruno was my second name.
Didn't mean to. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to hand it back to you now that we've overlapped here. Go ahead and bring us home, brother. How you feeling?
It's okay. You didn't take my first name, so I'm good on it. I'm good on it.
There we go.
And I like that we agree on the second name, so like we can at least agree on that. I almost don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to do that to our guy.
Oh,
no. But I got to do it to him just because it makes sense trajectory wise, style wise, and honestly, you want to do a little Apex headliner early day Saturday card. Give me Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus the Iron Turtle.
Hey, that's a banger.
Jun-Young Park. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like if you told me that was gonna happen, A, I would have a hell of a time telling you where I thought the odds makers were gonna place the line, and B, I'd have just as hard of a time telling you where I would fall on where I would bet that line, because Jun-Young Park is so durable. And if Michael can't knock you out, or Mikhail can't knock you out in the first round or two, he starts to fade. Jun-Young would be a stylistic nightmare for him, I think. I like that fight a lot, dude.
I do too. I like that a lot. Better than my name.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. There have been so many times where I like his name so much better than mine. So as long as I can get one back every once in a blue moon, it's a winning show. It's a winning show.
Absolutely.
Speaking of a winning show, we were winning on our next pick in the women's strawweight division when it came to Jessica Andrade coming in against Loopy Godinez. We knew that the power could still be there, but we also knew that version of Jessica Andrade is long gone. I'm going to keep my breakdown very short and sweet. I don't want to dwell on this fight too long. Loopy went out there and did exactly what she needed to do. Nothing more, nothing less. She got 1 out of her 14 takedowns at a 7.1% accuracy clip. She landed 50.2% of her strikes and 50.2% of her significant strike attempts, and 52.7% of her total strike attempts at 119 and 107 to the 97 and 90 of her opponent, who landed under 32% in both realms. Loopy was the more accurate, more active, just younger, more volume, more velocity. Everything she could do, she did. And that's exactly what you have to do in there against somebody like Jessica Andrade that you realistically 9 out of 10 times cannot put away. So great performance for Loopy. She improves her winning record to 14-5. And Jessica Andrade picks up her 15th loss professionally, going to 26-15. Nano, what stood out to you about this fight? Did anything surprise you at all?
Honestly, the speed discrepancy was a little shocking to me. I didn't realize how crispy Lupita Godinez's boxing is. No, she's a Mexicana. I do know that. And it did kind of dawn on me during the fight that she's been training with Alexa Grasso and Diego Lopez, a.k.a. Where Are You? So I should have known. I should have known she was going to be prepared, but I did think the speed. Yeah. And I'm so sorry for Jessica Andrade, because that's our girl, man. That's our girl. And it's going to be hard for me to sleep tonight. Thinking about her career at this point, man, it's hard. It's a young woman's game, just like it's a young man's game. Father Time is undefeated, and Mother Nature typically takes its course. And this was kind of a prime example of it. A little bit of a changing of the guard. Loopy is just gosh darn good. And I think she deserves to be up there with the big dogs. I do think she needs to get a contender. Anybody in the top 5. Honestly, I think a top matchup that, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. Maybe a Mackenzie, how you darn. Okay, you're coming off a win. I don't know if you necessarily want to fight somebody below you, but that would be a great match. If not, I'm looking at somebody that is ranked above as well, that 3 spot. And, it's one of those things. If you're sitting up there that highly ranked, you can't just be sitting with the loss as your last fight. You got to earn it and give somebody an opportunity and prove that you're still one of the top of the world. I'm talking about a Yan Zionan. I really, really like her. She lost to Verna. It's obvious Verna's probably next in line. So those are my 2 names, brother. But Loopy is right there, within arm's reach of that title contention. So love to see it. And man, just quick shout out to Jessica Andrade. You're a beast. I'll never bet against you. But obviously we know, I think what's kind of on the horizon. If you keep fighting, it's always going to be a fun fight, but I really have to break it down to really see if, stylistically it makes sense. So let's keep on keeping on, man. Appreciate you. Chama.
Chama, indeed. I mean, when it comes to Loopy Godinez, like she's already fought a who's who for the most part, right? Yan Xiaonan I really like. I think that's a good shout. Virna Jandiroba, like this chick is just absolutely monstrous. And I think she deserves a shot at the title. So if she wasn't so deserving of a title shot, I'd say Virna Kakara Jandiroba. The only other name outside of Yan Xiaonan that I could think of, Nano, is you got to give her the loser of Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos. If Tatiana Suarez comes off a skid like that, I think that's a great matchup for Loopy Godinez. Loopy Godinez versus Tatiana Suarez. Sign me up. Battle of the baddies. Holy smokes.
Chee-wee-wees.
Chee-wee-wees. You know what I'm saying? Jessica hasn't looked in shape in quite a while, said making the walk. I agree, man. I agree. Looks like Justin Schieber. She does, though. Kind of like a Justin Bieber a little bit. With that being said, I'm just stalling at this point because I don't want to do this next shot, but I have to. I'm going to pour it up. I was all in on Chase Hooper. After this performance, I'm going to call him Chase Pooper because it was a tough one, folks. No, I still love it. It's nothing but love for Chase Hooper. He looked really good out there up until the moment he got dropped. He was going out there against Alexander Hernandez, who does have one-shot knockout power in either hand at any given moment. And I mean, look, we've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen again. We will see it happen again. It's the best of times. I'll say it's the worst of times, right? You walk someone onto a counter shot, it's never gonna go well for them. Like they're gonna wake up. People are gonna have to explain to them that they lost a fight, that they were winning. That's not a fun feeling for anybody. It's not fun. Like, I know for a fact that Chase Hooper for sure lost like moments of his life. And I don't mean like he's going to die sooner or anything like that. But what I mean is he lost moments of time from his life. He won't remember what happened 5 minutes before that. He probably doesn't remember most of the first round. And if he does, he definitely doesn't remember the last 30 seconds of that exchange. So that's tough. It's tough to see. Tough to witness, especially if it's a fighter that you enjoy and like, and that's very young, like Chase Hooper. I hope to see him bounce back very quickly from this. Hope it doesn't put him out for very long, but man, that was a hell of a shot. Like this shot was nasty. It had bad intentions on it, man. Just a straight back, like pull back, right cross, like boom, right down the fucking pipe. Could you imagine just boom right down the fucking pipe like that? That little blip of pale fist is the last thing you see before the whole world goes black for a moment. Like, I don't think people understand what it's like to be knocked out, man. I mean, I don't either. I've never been knocked out, but I've come close in sparring. And the best way to describe it is I felt like there was a little kid that ran up to the light switches and started flicking them on and off for like 5 seconds. I was like, I need to take a step away. I don't want to spar anymore right now. You need to go with that guy on the heavy bag. I need a minute. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would not recommend. With that being said, cheers, folks. Fucking hell. We got another one to do after this one. Not right away, thank God. It's at the very, very end. And it's a celebratory one because we got one right. Well, I got one right and Nano got one wrong. We love it when that happens. Cheers, folks, to you, to me, to all that we can be. And hey, I'll say it again. I said it before. You look thirsty, so why not have yourself a little pour? Let's go, folks. Cheers to you.
Stay hydrated. Let's go. Salud.
Oh, Jax, don't do him like that. I'll let Nano answer this one, actually.
Making the walk asks, can Chase Hooper beat someone under the age of 35? Ouch. He is, what, maybe 25 himself, so I don't know if he can, enter that unk status just yet and beat someone with that dad energy, that dad strength. So probably not, man. And I think that's kind of the big thing for me. You mentioned him looking good. I beg to differ a little bit. I just maybe good, but not great, not good enough in my book. It was just like, and they kept talking about it on the commentary, DC and Joe, like, wow, he's really making some strides. He looks good. I don't know about y'all, but I did not see or feel as if Chase Hooper was showing strides or huge improvements in his striking. In fact, it felt like it was someone that was still developing in that realm. He was trying to put things together. I mean, he was doing the right things. But I think at one point, like they mentioned, why does he keep doing that hook? Some sort of spinning.
The spinning back wheel kick.
Yeah,
spinning back fist.
It reminded me of that scene in Knocked Up when he's like, why does he keep doing the dice?
That's all he's got.
It's really all he's got.
That's really all he's got.
His only moves. It's all he's got. So I guess when in doubt, stick to your.
Otherwise, the conversation Nano has with all of his other homies anytime he decides to invite me out with him and the other homies.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, it's not the dice move, but yeah, different. You
didn't have to agree with it, but I appreciate the honesty.
There were no filter around here, y'all know. Okay, I keep it real for the people. But no, man, it was. And Alex hit him with a good shot. I mean, he's a good counter guy. He was hitting him with some good counters. Unfortunately, Chases did not get saved by the bell, man. But yeah, what did you think? I mean. You mentioned him looking okay. I mean, I think he needs to improve. Would you, and this might be a hot take, but and jokingly, the new expression is send him to Dagestan for 2 or 3 years. But I think Chase can benefit from taking like 6 months to maybe 12 months and getting into a legit like kickboxing camp, maybe even just boxing. Just straight up, just keep it simple. Just focus on a good jab. You're long for the division.
No homo, bro. If I was there, I'd kiss you on the cheek right now because I think that's just such a smart idea.
Hell yeah!
I did do the little response loading thing so I could pop a Zen in. I don't like to put stuff in my mouth on the image.
Oh yeah,
don't want to give people too much ammo. But that being said, no, I agree. I thought I'm not gonna lie. I wrote something down in my notes when I was like watching this fight, and I always forget that you don't have access to mine the same way that like I give you your notes thing and I never look at it, right? So that way it's no filter. I want to be able to react live. This has happened at least like 4 times that I can remember where you don't have access to my notes, but you say the same shit almost word for word that I have written down.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, son of a bitch, he can't keep getting away with it.
Can't keep doing this.
I thought you did it again, but then you stopped. So thank you. You referenced the age old, tale as old as time situation of
send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
And I love that, but you stopped and said, I almost want to say like send him 2 or 3 years to like a good kickboxing gym. There's a very easy change of send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget. Send him 2-3 years Thailand and forget.
Fair.
That's fair. Send him to Tiger Muay Thai or AKA Thailand. That kid is going to get right. That's how my dad would say it. You want that boy to get right, you send him to Thailand. I guarantee you that boy, he's going to get fucking kicked around. He's going to drop them hands like he did in that fight. He's going to slap by a fucking Thai man out there. That boy going to show him a couple things. I promise you. He going to learn today. Like, I promise you send that boy to Thailand, he will get right. Right? Like, I don't want to say he will get better. He will get good. He will get great. He'll get right. Okay? Because there are fundamental things that he just does not do right. Like, excuse me. When you're a grappler, and like, again, I'm not a grappler. So even imitating it, I know I'm not doing a great job. I am a Muay Thai guy. But when you're a grappler, you keep your hands typically lower, right? And a little bit wider because you're ready to sprawl, grab, wrap. But in Muay Thai and striking in general, you want to keep your hands in 2 places, right? You keep your hands here, or you want to keep your hands here, right? Because if I'm here, I am guarding my body, right? even if I'm throwing combos, I am guarding my body. Wingardium Leviosa. You know what I'm saying? The wings are Guardium the Leviosa. My guy. Like this is the way. And this is why you'll see a lot of TIE fighters and strikers in general, and also grapplers or people who started in grapplers that then transitioned into striking. They'll develop tics. These tics aren't Tourette's. They're not like they're things that you basically force yourself to create as a tic to remind yourself. For example, I have a tic as well. Everybody does typically that does MMA, whether it's a striking tic or a grappling tic. There are tics. Rashad Evans would constantly like touch his lips. He'd like touch his lips to remind himself to keep his hands up in guard. Because if he's like touching his lips, he's here. He can constantly keep his hands where they need to be and throw shots. Mine, I literally would, I tap my eyebrows with my index finger and my middle finger. Because if I do that, then I'm here. I'm laser beaming, right? Like my hands are touching. I'm here. Like Muay Thai coach said laser beam and it stuck with me forever. So again, like making the walk, throwing out absolute facts, jacks with the facts, as we say. Diego Lopez has such an interesting tic. Fun fact, he had his neck sliced open in a freak accident when he was a child. He has scarring. Sweat starts to drip down his forehead into his chin. He doesn't have a beard to even block it like most of us do, so it just drips right onto his neck. That scar gets itchy, so he starts to rub his scar. You'll see him touch it with his thumb multiple times in the fight. And every 2 to 3 times that he touches it, he'll go 1, 1, 2, tap. He does the same eyebrow tap that I do, but he does it after every second or third neck touch. Again, like it's the OCD in me and the ADHD in me. Like the OCD in me counts and the ADHD in me just focuses on way too many fucking aspects of every little thing in my life. So when I'm watching fights, I'm looking at all of these tics. It's why I learned Rashad's tic, and that's how I built my tic. But this guy, like he's got such bad grappling tics. And he needs to find a middle ground. Like if my one of my first Muay Thai coaches at AKA was Tomas Nomas Dion. Shout out. Dude was a beast. He had like a fucking 38-second knockout in Bellator. Beast. He would always say like, listen, he had this great accent. He sounded like Black Panther. He's like, listen, when you are standing in guard, you need to remember, okay? You are not a chicken. You are a man. You are a human being. You are in a fight right now. A chicken keeps its wings spread because it is ready to fly. But if you are in a fight, you're not flying away. You're no chicken. Tuck your wings into your body and protect yourself. That is such a small piece of wisdom that Chase Hooper could really fucking benefit from. Like when you're ready to throw strikes, don't let your hands get below your lips. And if they do, it's because you're blocking your body. Oh, and by the way, I can do that from here. When my fingers are touching this versus when they're touching this, my elbows are in the same space. I'll show you visual viewers. Check this out. So I'm here. You see my elbows? I'm here. You see my elbows? Like, we're here. So the second your fingers get below your lips, you've made a great mistake. The second your elbows have spacing between them and your ribs, you've made a mistake. Because even if you block, I am now going to kick your arm so fucking hard that it hurts to lift it into guard. Oh, and by the way, I made you elbow yourself in the ribs. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, as a Chase Hooper fan, like, that shot was tough to do, man. Because like I just know he's better than the performance that we got on Saturday evening. And for Alexander Hernandez, I say it every time he fights. Like, you know, I'm an Alexander Hernandez hater. I'm whatever the antithesis is for a shill, that's me when it comes to Alexander, the not so great fucking Hernandez. But I'll be damned, man. He made me look like a fucking fool. He left egg on my face, and I can't even be mad at it. There were 2 seconds left in the round, and he dropped our guy. He made him look rough. He made him flop like a fish, man. It was just, again, it was simple. It was a pullback, right cross. It's one of the first things you learn to defend against. If you throw and they're here, like Victory MMA, right? Like my most recent MMA gym that I trained at, Coach AP from the Muay Thai team, he would tell every single newcomer, he's like, I don't care if this is your friend. He has like a great raspy voice. He's like ex-Marine. He's fucking drill sergeant status. I don't care if this is your first Muay Thai class or your 31st Muay Thai class. Every time you throw a strike, there should be 2 points of contact. Do you understand me? And everyone looks up confused, myself even, because I had never heard this analogy, right? And he'd pull me to the front and be like, Wolverine, let's show him the next combo when I'm wearing my fucking Wolverine gloves. And I'm like, what the fuck? 2 points of contact? What does he mean? And he's like, 2 points of contact. If I'm throwing a left hand, right? The left hand goes out to connect to you. My right hand connects to my eye in guard. The second I throw that next strike, there are 2 points of contact for that strike. My left hand is going to come back as it's coming back as a machine. Boom. The right hand connects. 1 point, 2 points. My left hand connects to my eyes. Laser beams. If you're not creating a scope to shoot that laser beam, you are not shooting that laser cannon correctly. Like, bro, like every little analogy these Muay Thai coaches teach you, like it's smart, bro. Like it makes you remember things. Like I'll never forget shit like that. So, yeah, man. I mean, like he just has so many fundamental issues that if he could tighten those up, my God, Chase Hooper would be a world breaker with the grappling he presents, man. Lazy Bad, my fucking guy.
Oh.
Let's go. And Jack Director. Let's go. We don't always see you guys in the chat, but when we do, it's a great fucking time. Let's go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this this fight card. We're doing it different tonight. So we started at the top and we're moving our way to the bottom. Nano. Let's get past this shit. What were your thoughts on this lightweight bout between Chase the Dream Hooper and Alexander Hernandez?
Yeah, I just think that Chase really needs to go out there and learn how to strike much more. I think it's obvious he is a good ground specialist and he has his ways to stay competitive here in the UFC. I mean, but just because you're, have some namesake, it doesn't guarantee anything in the sport, right? And I think there was a big gap. It was gaping, large. It was noticeable when it came to the striking difference from him versus someone like an Alexander the Great Hernandez, who we all respect, but he's not necessarily known as this Herculean-esque fighter. It's like, he has holes. And honestly, I think Chase had a lot of opportunities to potentially win, but his striking just is not up to par, to use a golf expression. So that was my big takeaway. It was just, man, he was doing enough to kind of keep himself out of danger, and then like you said, until it wasn't, until he just caught one. And I mean, what are you gonna say? Hey, be tougher. It's like, unfortunately, you get caught with a perfect counter. Your body is gonna
not be tougher, be smarter, man. Be less predictable.
Exactly. It's like you're gonna take some on the chin, unfortunately. But But what you don't want to do is be caught out of position, or again, him catching your timing. You're throwing a leg kick. Now it's double whammy. I think he needs to really focus in on some, like you said, go send him to Thailand, go take the family out there for a year or two. Baby's young, she'll be fine. Introduce her to some pad thai, but he needs to develop a little bit, and I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll bounce back. Like it was said here in the chat, I forget who mentioned it, but he's still so young. So
he's so young, man.
Still so much to go.
Honestly, like 6 months in Thailand, leave the kid and the wife at home, like do your thing. And then like he'll learn so much in that 6 months. I agree making the walk, man. Hurts to see Hooper lose. Even worse, that is to Hernandez. Oh, goodness gracious, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, Jax. But I digress. It was a great win for our guy, Alexander Hernandez. He's not my guy. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite of the Chris Weidman quote. He's still not my boy. Okay? He's still not my boy. Nano, I'll go to you first on this one. Do you have a name on the tip of your tongue for what should be next for Alexander Hernandez?
I do. I have a couple. I'm going to keep it kind of the cheap way out here, and not have to go too far. In fact, I'm keeping it very close. In the Drakkar close potentially is a good matchup. 2 veterans here, 2 OGs. I just like those kind of profiles to match up here in the octagon. If not, maybe you want to continue to give Alexander the Great Hernandez at 32 years old. Maybe you do want to give him another young buck or a younger buck. I don't think it necessarily skyrocketed him to get someone in the top 15, but I do think someone sitting out that outside of the top 25, thinking about a Esteban Hibovic coming off a win, 29 years old, has some power. I mean, both these guys have some namesake now as well. I think that's where I'm at with Alexander the Great Hernandez. He's a dog. He's been up and down. We've been following him for a while. Like, we've known about him. He's been in the UFC for quite some time. Yeah, I think I like Drakkar. I think, and again, that feels cheap because they both fought in the same card, but they're both OGs and both are looking to continue to climb. That feels like a good process of elimination bout right there. How do you feel about what's next for Alexander the Great?
I'm not mad at it, man. I don't hate the choice. I have 2 other names though. Mateos Raumbecki coming off a loss. He's 2-2 in his last 4. Right.
He's a problem though. I mean, the way he loses is still entertaining as shit.
He's a problem, bro. He's a problem. Another guy that I'd love to see him fight. Jax, back me up on this one, bro. Jack said Hernandez versus Aspinall. Need to see him put to sleep. I mean, fair, but I got one that I think you'll like just as well. Nazim the Black Wolf Salikov.
Oh,
we had a wolf dominate on this card. What do you think about a wolf dominating against a fucking Alexander Hernandez? Alexander Hernandez versus Nazim Salikov. Winner gets a top 15 belt.
I think that's the move. I like that a lot, honestly. That's a very rich bout, but it's not too rich for me. I like my sweets, man. Oof. I'm just thinking about how that's going to go down. Someone's dropping. That is not leaving the first round, probably.
Let's go. Making the Walks at Black Wolf be a solid matchup. Appreciate you, Jax. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's the one that I like the most. I think it's just on paper, it makes a lot of sense. Both guys trajectory-wise line up well, and whoever wins continues that rise, man. I think it'll be Nazim. Now, with that, we move into the early prelims. We got 3 fights left. Bear with us, folks. We're getting into the stretch, the final stretch here. We had a lightweight bout staying in the lightweight division between Edson Barboza coming in against Drakkar KLOSE. Oh, man, it's I'll keep it short. I'll keep it sweet. This fight went pretty neat. Exactly as we thought it would go. Exactly as we said so last week. We said it would play out this way. And if you listen to the words we say, you probably would have added Drakkar KLOSE to your fucking parlay. The guy went out there and he created quite a distance between him and Edson Barboza. We said that he was going to go out there and be suffocating like a wet blanket. That's exactly what he did. Nano, I said he'd have trouble landing takedowns, but he'd probably pressure against the cage and rack up control time and body shots. He did just that, Nano. He landed 147 compared to 73 in total strikes and 53 to 71 in significant strikes. I said Edson was probably in the better strikes. He's a better striker, but that suffocating style, it's just hard to win rounds against when you need distance like Edson Barboza does. Can't get a knockout when you don't have range. And KLOSE did not give Edson any range. His last name is KLOSE. The game plan was exactly that. Keep it very close. Edson Barboza should have taken a page out of Chael Sonnen's book going into this fight and just really came in with the I can't let you get close mentality, but he didn't. Nano, I'm going to jump into you here and let you give your thoughts on the fight because, man, I thought it was a fairly decisive one-way traffic here.
Yeah, it was decisive. It was a fun matchup. There were some good exchanges, good back and forth. And as much as I love seeing Barboza fight until the end, especially at this stage in his career, absolutely proven warrior, wears his heart in his sleeve. But yeah, Drakkar was just a little bit better, a little bit more slick on the feet, better counter punches, just all around. Ended up putting on just a better performance, hurting his opponent more. I didn't think he had him hurt, but then I rewatched it again, and it looked like Edson was definitely on stilts a little bit there. I believe it was somewhere midway through the second round, could be the third. Time flies when you have a good time. I apologize, but man, that was an absolute fun fight. But Drakkar went out there with the close win with the K, and like I kind of already insinuated, I think a matchup against like an Alexander Hernandez makes sense still for a Drakkar. If you want to maybe go a little bit higher, I was just seeing if they've already matched up before, but a Bobby King Green seems like another fun one. You're both on the back nine of their career, both highly ranked. A Chris the Problem Duncan is somebody, though I do think he deserves a higher ranked opponent. Still makes sense, but financially, I believe. But the thing with Drakkar, man, represent AZ, shout out. He put himself in a good spot after this win. So can't go wrong any way you decide. I don't know if you have any names top of mind, or what do you think's next for Mr. Close? Talk to the people.
I don't mind King Green. That was another name I had on my short list. The other two names that I have are Diego Fajeda and Manuel El Loco Torres. Neither of those two guys have fights lined up either. Both are 2-1 in their last 3, and I don't think they would say no to signing that dotted line against a Drakkar Close. Again, a fight where the winner gets a solid shot at top 15 contendership, right? A fight that, in the words of Shania Twain, didn't impress me much was the women's flyweight bout between Karine Silva and Diane Barbosa. Oh, man. I had Karine Silva in the underdogs competition. She was one of my slated picks, but I thought Diane Barbosa had a dog shot here. I said this last week on the show. We didn't put a shot on it, thank goodness. But, man, I'm not going to say a whole lot about the fight other than the fact that I thought it was closely contested, and I thought that the judges got it wrong. I thought Diane won the fight. Thought she won 2 rounds to 1, and even Karine looked confused when they raised her hand. So, I mean, that's a tough look, brother. It's a tough look. Nano, did anything surprise you about this fight, or did it play out pretty close to what you saw happening?
I think it was closer than I thought it was going to be. We can look at the tape from last week, and I was more on the belief that Karine is an absolute monster, that she was going to go out there and take care of business. But Diane Barbosa definitely got maybe caught wind of that and said, not today. Hold my beer. I'm going to go out there and take care of business and earn my stripes. It was a fun one, man. I don't disagree with you. I mean, watching it, my first instinct, and maybe it was because I was rooting for Karine to win, but I felt like she did enough. I didn't even notice the body language of her after. Maybe you're right. Maybe she was a little shocked, and that's always a tell sign of how they look after. In terms of what's next, I mean, she went up 1 spot in the rankings, but anybody ranked, I think, is fine. Like, I think the big question we maybe want to really ask is she ready for like a top 5 or someone to make her way into the contender conversation? I need to see one more. I need to see one more win. Maybe it's a Tracy Cortez or a Miranda Maverick, a little Top Gun reference. Could tickle my fancy, but yeah, it was much more closely contested than I thought, but still a very entertaining fight nonetheless.
Yeah, very entertaining match. Look, entertaining, yes. Impressive, no. I don't think we learned anything about Karine Silva aside from what we already knew. Like, I don't know, man. Realistically, if Macy Barber is okay to fight, if she's okay with her health issues, I think that's the fight to make. Karine Silva versus Macy Barber, I think, is a banger of a fight. It's probably the best fight you can make in that weight class outside of the top 15. Making the Walk said, Karine better do better than that going forward. That was very disappointing. Oh, Silva versus, holy fuck. Jax, my guy. Silva versus Barber.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
Let's go. And Pro Catch, my guy. Don't always see you in the chat, but when we do,
PC, what up?
it's a good fucking time, brother. 4 letters. One word.
One opportunity.
Let's go.
She.
My guy. Jey Uso, brother. Jey Uso. We got to get you on that Jey Uso line. Fucking love it, dude. I mean, this fight was fun. This fight was definitely fun. Macy Barber or Tracy Cortez, I think, are definitely the way to go. I just think those fights make a lot of sense, and they also make a lot of dollars. And you know, if it makes dollars, it makes sense, folks. With that being said, we move into the final fight of the night. It was a flyweight bout between Alibi Idris, and Joseph Bobo Morales. My guy. Nano, pour it up. I mean, we disagreed on this one. I can't let you do it alone, though. So I will gladly pour up a celebratory one in honor of Joseph Morales. I'm going to do my quick breakdown here, and then I'll pass it to you as I do this shot. Folks, this was the best case scenario. Joseph Morales, someone who's already been in the UFC, he saw that opportunity not go so well. He was put against the likes of folks like Diego fucking, I mean, come on, bro. Like the guy did not. Diego Ferreira. Come on. That was his debut. It's just not nice, bro. Like they didn't give him any favors. So I hope he gets favors here. I hope he gets a trajectory that he can actually climb upon. And man, he went out here in a younger opponent that a lot of people chalked him out against. It's one of the few bets that we actually hit on. Joseph fucking Morales, folks. This guy's an absolute beast. I told you his opponent was going to come out there balls to the wall. And then if he didn't get it done inside the first round, it was going to be a tough night. Round 1, 18-10. Significant strikes. Round 2, 19-10. Significant strikes. The only thing is they flip-flopped. My guy. Alibi round 1. And then he lost round 2, not only on strikes, but in the long run. He ended up getting submitted in that final, or second round, I should say. The final round that the fight actually ended up going. Beautiful triangle choke. I called it out like 2 to 3 fucking steps before he set it up. I was like, oh, he set up a triangle here. And Drew, drunk and high as fuck, looks over and he's like, I understand. And that's all she wrote. Making right. The walk said Nano is fading. I mean, slowly. He's not. He could actually go all night. It just, when someone's sitting next to me, it's easy to look that way. So that's all.
Got too many fights wrong, I guess you can say. Too many damn shots, man. We suck again.
Is the last one, though. So last one, folks. Cheers to that. Cheers to you. We appreciate you, whether you're watching live right now or you're watching on replay. If you could do us a huge favor, like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And hey, if you're drinking, do a shot because you look thirsty. Let's go, kids.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. He's hurt. He's rocked.
Yeah, making the walk is making the real talk as well right now. You right. I'm hurting for a. Oh, never mind. It's TMI.
Hurting for certain.
Hurting for certain. Oh, well said.
Nano, what were your thoughts on this fight? This tough finale.
Man, it was a tough one. It was tough, brother. It was fun. I mean, going into it, I felt like it had a lot of hype. I was curious to see how both these guys would respond to the big lights. And I think that's something that we may not necessarily talk about enough around here. But if you've ever competed, if you've ever done anything, whether it's just in front of the mirror or in front of a stranger or your family and friends, or in this case, the whole world and a rocking, socking crowd, rambunctious, loud, obnoxious, drunk, I'm trying to run out of adjectives. I mean, just all around, all that atmosphere, everything, it weighs on you, right? And I think half of that is your testosterone, your that adrenaline dump, you're hyped up, you're going into it. And I think that might have played in a little bit here because we all know who Idris Alibi is. And we do all, I think, believe, I'm kind of speaking for myself here, but I think we could all agree that he has a bright future ahead in fighting. He has a lot of skills, can do a lot of great things, and has a story that anyone would root for. But boy, do we love a good underdog story around here, huh? The dogs bark in the backyard, baby. My goodness, what a performance. I mean, man, he looked tough. He did not look like he looked like he belonged. He looked like he belonged. Obviously, he's been here before. He shared the octagon with the ex-champion, Figgy, Deviestin Figueiredo. So, man, Joseph Morales showed up, brother. It was absolutely fun. Way to start the card, and the underdog won the ultimate final finale. I think a little some poetic justice in there as well. Was hoping to get another Ultimate Fighter championship. I know we didn't end up getting that one, but that's neither here nor there. Unfortunately, a few fights fell off this card, but
hey, we'll be getting it on UFC Noche. They rescheduled it already.
less LFG. Can't
I'll be
wait
there.
for that
I'll be
one.
there with your cousin. I hope you're there too, man.
I'm gonna try. Hey, well, there's a will, there's a way.
Let's go, September 13th, brother. UFC Noche. Let's go. I will be way too drunk in your cousin's backyard. So I pray you're there as well to help hold me up on my 2 feet.
Won't let you do that alone. Just like I'm out here with the shots, we do it together. We will booze up together and black out together. We will drink responsibly. We will drink responsibly.
If not, I'm going to be fucking FaceTiming you like,
where are you? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
Love it. Let's go. Can't wait, man.
Now, with that, Joseph Morales, as you said, he does end up winning the Ultimate Fighter finale. He gets that 6-figure contract guaranteed in the UFC. I should say back in the UFC. Second chances are very real, folks. I have not one, not two, but 3 names for the young man as to what I think should be next.
Oh, lay it on us.
I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way to the top. All right, so this guy might be one of the hardest workers we've seen in the Ultimate Fighter. He worked his ass off to get back into tough and then back into the UFC. It's a hard worker, man. I say, why not put the hard worker against the lazy boy? Ronaldo Rodriguez.
Oh, that's a fun one. That's a really fun one. I like that a lot, actually. Woo.
I think it's a banger, dude. Like, I feel like that's a fight where, like, I again, gun to my head right now. I don't know who's the underdog. B, I don't know who I pick. I truly don't, because both guys are studs. Now, outside of that, there's 2 names that come to mind. A little bit more tried and tested inside of the UFC octagon. I'm talking about a Mateos Nicolau coming off of not 1, not 2, but 3 back-to-back losses. A guy whose last 4 fights were against Matt Schnell, Brandon Royval, Alex Perez, and Asu Almabayev. I know that's deep, but
dude,
we're also talking about a guy that's not necessarily ranked, right? Like, he's in the top 20 or top 30, but he's kind of a stepping stone into the top 15. So I think Mateos Nicolau's a solid fight. Again, gun to my head, I'm picking Lazy Boy over that one. I think it's a way funner fight for our guy Morales. But I have one that's going to top them both, I think.
Oh, shit. Okay. So I was going to say, I like that one a lot too, but you say the best for last. Let's go.
I typically try to. Now, assuming this man has not been cut post his last loss, I'm going to give you a custom-made matchup between our guy, Joseph Morales, and custom-made Cody Durden.
Okay. I see you.
I want to see what happens when you give him the deep end. This guy's very well rounded. He's got 6 wins by knockout, 6 by submission, and 5 by decision. He can get it done anywhere the fight goes. And his only losses inside the UFC are to Muhammad Makayev, Tagir Ulanbekov, Bruno Silva, Joshua Van, and Jose Ochoa. Like, all of these guys are fucking animals.
Yeah, you're right about it.
But what happens if he fights a Joseph Morales that has this newfound fucking confidence and experience?
Sometimes the sport is about peaking at the right time, right? I mean, so that's one thing I would say that might tip my hand on where I'm leaning on that. But it's the stars are aligning, I think, for
Good
our boy
fight.
Morales. Oh, absolutely. A banger. Great pick.
So of those 3 picks, or actually before we get into that, do you have any names on the tip of your tongue?
Honestly, full transparency, I didn't. I was going to say, I mean, anybody that's, he's now entering the chat. He is the Ultimate Fighter champion, but the roster's deep. It was going to be hard for me to kind of peg where he fits in the landscape, right? How do you really peg it? So I was going to wait, but brother, I mean, you really hit the nail on the head with some of those names. I think you just can't go wrong. I mean, it just depends how quick
making
you
the
get back
walk.
in there.
Okay, that's actually a great segue. You said it depends on how quick you get back in there. Making the walk said that's a solid fight pick. Wish it was for UFC No Shame. I know he obviously means Ronaldo Rodriguez, Lazy Boy.
Which would have been my pick, yep.
If Morales can get back in there for September, I mean, that's obviously a very big ask. 4 weeks.
It can be done.
After going 8.5 minutes in a fight against Ronaldo Rodriguez.
And filming the show, which I think probably was a little while ago.
There was a 6-month gap between that usually.
Okay, that's good. Never mind.
So they hit a full camp. I'll be honest with you. My biggest concern would be whether or not Ronaldo can make weight.
Yeah, that short notice would be tough. Might have to be someone that's on or...
Dude, Jax, that's the very definition of a showcase fight. Huge opportunity. Could you imagine if that started off the early prelims or the regular prelims? Like, that's money, bro.
Facts.
You want to put asses in seats in Texas for UFC Noche before the main card starts? That's how you do it. That is a surefire method to getting that done. Yeah, I'm all about it, man. Give me Ronaldo Rodriguez versus fucking Joseph Morales. If you can do it on OJ, dope. If not, you do it like 2 or 3 months later on the November, December card, man. Honestly.
Yeah, that'd be the move.
Start off the early prelims for that heavy headliner card. I'm all about it. And give Joseph Morales a trajectory in which he can actually win. Why has the UFC not employed us as matchmakers? Jax, I truly wish I knew, bro. Like, we're giving them fucking gold. I don't even need them to pay us, bro. Like, just give us tickets to the fights.
Yeah, I'll live with that.
Like, I'll take the free media passes over the payment any day of the week. Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, come on, brother. We'll do a shot with you and we'll do your job for you as long as you give us some tickets. Let's go. We're talking cage side, though.
Please and thank you.
At the very least, we're talking low bowl. Come on, boys.
No, we're sitting next to Theo. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Hey, let's go, baby. You already know what it is. Folks, listen, if you stuck around for the entire hour and 53-ish minutes that this has gone on, we appreciate each and every one of you. If you just tuned in, that's fine too. But we'd really appreciate it if you did us a huge favor, whether it was the former or the latter. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And folks, we really appreciate each and every one of you, but we'd appreciate you even more if you did these last 2 things. Okay? All that we ask is that you keep on going and that you keep on growing, folks. Let's fucking go. We hope to see you next time.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.